Welcome to our channel, Recap the Film. Today we are going to recap a horror movie called Abigail, so be careful, there will be spoilers ahead. Abigail, a ballerina teenager, is dancing in an empty theater. Meanwhile, a group of criminals are getting prepared for an operation. After finishing her practice, Abigail gets into a car with a tracker placed underneath it. One of the criminals gets a message saying, "Tiny dancer is moving," and turns out that this group's target is Abigail. Three of the criminals get inside a mansion, while two others are helping them to breach the security locks. After entering Abigail's room, one of the crooks protests about targeting a child, but backs down immediately so everyone hides inside the room. Abigail enters the room and talks to someone on her phone about her ballet practice. She hears a sound and gets terrified for a second, but calms down and starts drawing. Suddenly, one of the criminals grabs her, but she defends herself by stabbing him with a pencil. Another man holds Abigail down while the first one tries to beat her, but the woman stops him and injects Abigail with a sedative, so she falls asleep. The team finds out that a car is entering the mansion, so they take Abigail and move to the exit gate. Suddenly, the lights turn on and the security alarm goes off, but the team manages to escape on time. Inside the car, the woman checks Abigail's vital signs to make sure she is okay and blindfolds her. The driver speeds up and stops beside a big truck to hide the car from the traffic cameras. The team speed up to their destination, which is a remote mansion where they meet their boss, Lambert. They chain up Abigail in a room. Lambert states the rules that no one can use real names or talk about their backstories. Lambert asks them to guard Abigail as a 24-hour job, but does not reveal her identity, only mentioning that her dad is a very wealthy man who is going to pay them a $50 million ransom. To make sure nobody can track down the team, Lambert collects everyone's cell phones, and just before leaving, he gives each of the team members a fake name to communicate with: Frank, Dean, Sammy, Peter, Joey, and Rickles. After Lambert leaves, the team start drinking and having fun. Only Joey refuses to join them, saying she has to look after Abigail. Dean tries to guess everyone's backstory, but Joey mocks him. Frank bets $100 if she can say one truth about him. Joey says that Frank used to be a detective, judging his posture and style. Later, everyone places the same bet, so Joey correctly points out that Peter is a mob enforcer. Sammy comes from a wealthy family and became a hacker for excitement. Rickles used to be a Marine, and Dean is an unprofessional sociopath driver. Then Frank finds out that Joey is a junkie, considering her behavior. Joey goes to check on Abigail and finds her awake and terrified. Joey tries to comfort her and takes off her blindfold and handcuffs her from the front so she doesn't get hurt. Joey explains that they only want money from Abigail's dad. Abigail asks Joey to promise that she won't let anyone hurt her, so they make a pinky promise. Joey says that she also has a little son. Abigail says that her father does not care about her, and she is sorry for what's going to happen to Joey. Joey gets worried and asks Frank about Abigail's dad, but he does not know him either. Frank goes to Abigail's room and finds her without her blindfold. He immediately covers his face and yells at Abigail to see if she has seen his face. He frightens Abigail with a gun and asks about her father. She says that her father's name is Christophe Lazar. Shocked and terrified, Frank runs back to the team, saying he is leaving. He explains that Abigail's father is a very dangerous, powerful man. The team argues about what they should do with Abigail. Finally, they agree that the ransom money is worth taking the risk. Frank gives Rickles and Joey guarding duties so they can protect themselves for the next 22 hours. While searching inside the mansion, Joey finds a strange statue of a man and his daughter. Then she rans into Rickles. He says that he doesn't trust the others but Joey. Sammy is watching a cartoon when Dean tries to scare her. He tries to get close to her, but Sammy yells and rejects him. Dean finds Peter falling asleep on a chair and draws on his face. Later, Dean finds an old drawing of a man and a little girl who look just like Abigail. In the kitchen, a door opens behind him, and when he goes to check the room, something grabs his feet, dragging him down. Dean shouts for help, and Sammy goes to find him. She finds decapitated Dean in the kitchen and screams. Peter comes for help and gets shocked. The whole team gathers in the kitchen and starts talking about Lazar's infamous hitman, called Valdez, who rips apart his victims as a signature. They go to Abigail's room to check on her. Rickles says he is done and asks Joey to come with him, but she refuses. Rickles goes to the front door and finds it sealed. Peter tries to break the door but fails. Suddenly, all the windows get sealed as well. They are trapped inside the house. Joey asks Abigail if she has seen anyone else. Abigail says that Frank told her that he works for her father and his real name is Valdez. Rickles tells Joey that his rifle is missing, and Joey shares the news that Frank is Valdez. Rickles asks Joey to deal with Peter and Sammy while he goes after Frank. The minute Joey turns her back, she hears a sound and sees that Rickles' neck and face are torn apart. Shocked from his death, Joey points her gun at other team members and confronts Frank. He also takes out his gun and asks Joey about her actions. She reveals that Abigail told her Frank is actually Valdez, who killed Dean and Rickles. Frank says that Abigail is lying to put them against each other, so they have to get rough with her. Peter agrees to do the job, but Joey threatens him. However, Peter manages to get away and goes to Abigail's room. Joey runs after him and stops him from hurting Abigail. While others are fighting together, Sammy watches Abigail releasing her hands from the cuffs and screams. Abigail shows her vampire face and attacks Peter. Frank shoots Abigail in the face, but she revives and chases them. Joey shoots her multiple times, and Frank locks the door behind them. They finally realize that the little girl they kidnapped is a vampire, known as Valdez. The team members try to put together their information about vampires. Joey suggests that they must give Abigail to her father in exchange for sparing their lives, but Frank insists on killing Abigail with the help of Peter and Sammy. They take sharp wooden stakes to attack Abigail but find her room empty. They hear music from upstairs and follow the sound to a room where Abigail is dancing with Dean's corpse, dressing as a ballerina. They all attack her, but she fights back. Abigail stabs Peter multiple times with his crucifix and drives a stake into Frank's leg. Surprisingly, Abigail lets them escape so the game can go on. In the main hall, Joey attends to Frank's wound and tells them that the only thing that works on Abigail is the sedative she used on her, so they must trap her so Joey can inject her. The team members split up to search for Abigail. Sammy finds an empty coffin and then falls into a pool filled with rotting dead bodies and screams. Meanwhile, Abigail finds Peter, who got distracted by a splinter in his finger. She chases Peter down the stairs where Frank slams a door in Peter's face and he falls. Abigail follows Frank and pushes him. Joey tries to inject Abigail, but she throws away the syringe. When Abigail is suffocating Frank, Sammy grabs her from behind but gets bitten. Abigail holds Frank's leg and starts flying when Peter attacks her and manages to hold her down long enough for Joey to inject her. Cursing and screaming, Abigail falls asleep. She then wakes up in a locked elevator. Joey says if she shows the way outside the house, they will free her, but Abigail refuses. Sammy is worried about the bite and asks Abigail if she will turn into a vampire. She mocks Sammy and says maybe. Abigail confesses that she was the one who gathered the whole team inside the house with the help of his man, Lambert, and there was never any money. Then she calls Sammy by her real name, Jessica, and explains that Sammy has stolen money from Abigail's father. Then she continues with everyone's backstories. Peter had stolen money from a mafia crew linked to Lazar's empire. Frank was an undercover detective who arrested 3 of Lazar's lieutenants. After Abigail murdered the 3 witnesses, Frank changed his name and fled, leaving his family behind. Joey was an army medic who got expelled because of morphine addiction and also abandoned her son. She became an underground doctor, and when she was high during a surgery, she accidentally killed one of Lazar's men. Joey reminds Abigail that no matter how many enemies she kills, her father is not going to love her again. Abigail admits that this whole plan was not for revenge, but for her own amusement, so she gives them an offer. Whoever lets her out will live. Peter tries to unlock the door, but Joey shoots him. Frank stays guard while Joey patches up Peter's wound. Abigail says if he opens the door, she will spare him. In return, Frank asks her how to get outside the house. She mentions a secret door in the library that opens with a specific book. Frank refuses to free Abigail and mocks her. She laughs and suddenly pushes the door open. Before she can bite Frank, Joey breaks the wall, and when sunlight comes inside, it destroys Abigail's hand. She hides in the dark screaming, while her hand is healing again. Frank and Joey run away to the library. Sammy enters the sunlight and figures she has not turned into a vampire. Frank finds the book Abigail mentioned, but nothing happens. Joey tries to break through the wall and fails. Sammy sits beside her and asks about her son. Joey says she wanted to come back for her son when she got clean, and that's why she needed money. Sammy figures that if she can find the power source of the house, she can reset it so the team splits up to search. Peter tries to comfort Sammy, saying she is his friend. Suddenly, Abigail enters Sammy's mind and takes control by turning her into a vampire puppet. Sammy attacks Peter and rips off his neck and drains his blood. Abigail controls Sammy to lure the others into a trap, while dancing the way Abigail does. Joey and Frank find vampire Sammy, who chases them to the library and attacks them, but Joey kills her using a sunlight reflection. All of a sudden, a door opens behind them, so they enter a hidden passage. They find vampire Lambert sitting in the control room. Lambert explains that Abigail turned him into a vampire after she found out that he helped Frank arrest her father's men. Since then, Lambert is doing Abigail's bidding. He offers Frank to help him kill Abigail and her father so they can rule the empire. Then he turns Frank into a full vampire by feeding him of his own blood. After the transition, Frank kills Lambert. Before he attacks Joey, Abigail enters the room, so Frank bites her neck and drinks her blood. Joey tries to run away, but cannot unlock the door. Desperate, she calls her son, which goes to voicemail, so she leaves a message saying she loves him. Frank finds Joey and beats her up and throws her down the stairs, but Abigail saves her. They agree to team up against Frank and start fighting him back. Frank pins Joey to a pillar with a stick. Then he attacks Abigail, draining her blood. Abigail reminds Joey of the pinky promise she made to protect her. Frank bites Joey, then wakes her up, presuming she is now a puppet under his control. He commands Joey to kill Abigail, but she attacks him instead. Finally, they overcome Frank and drive a stake into his heart. Abigail thanks Joey and assures her that she will not become a vampire. Unexpectedly, Abigail's father shows up and attacks Joey. Abigail stops him, saying Joey saved her life. So Lazar spares Joey's life, and she finally gets out of the house and drives away. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for our next videos.